Hello, I'm Delusion Dispeller, and I want to talk to you about something important to me. The word opinion, the word beliefs, to me are two different things. An opinion is something that someone gives that matters, but it doesn't necessarily carry the weight of their personality, who they are, what they stand for, what they'll live for, some what they'll die for. That's your beliefs that do that. Some people call it your faith. For me, I believe the Bible and any book that is along those lines, and any belief system that is along those lines. However, that being said, some belief systems that are along those lines can be dangerous and can be faulty. So I pick and choose what I want to believe. But basically, Bible beliefs I can adhere to my life with good consequences, I believe. Now, opinions. Opinions are, well, I don't like the way she wears her hair, or I don't care for green beans, or something like that. Things that really are not of great significance. They matter to the person and maybe other people around them. But beliefs are something that you live your life by. They shape who you are. So if you have a belief that, say, drinking to excess, drunkenness is wrong because the Bible says it is, then you are not going to be wanting around. Bleh, you're not going to want to be around people who are drunk if you stand by and live by your beliefs. Now, if you have an opinion of, well, those drunk people, they just rub me the wrong way. I don't care for drinking. Kind of makes your stomach feel funny. That's an opinion. You may feel that way and still hang out with people that drink to excess. And I'm using this as a loose example of what my point is. So if you want to jump on the band or on the wagon of, oh, she's putting down alcoholics, blah, blah, blah. The Bible already puts them down. Already puts the act down. Maybe the people too. I don't know. I don't remember exactly right now what the Bible says specifically about drunkenness. Other than drinking to excess is wrong, and it causes people to act like a fool, and that it's mockery. At any rate, that's just one of many examples I could use, because I'm trying not to be too specific here, because I'm not trying to pinpoint any certain person or people that I'm mentioning, or not mentioning, that I'm referring to the behaviors of. My beliefs, as I said, are based on the Bible and any books or beliefs lining up with that I can adhere to my life. One of my beliefs is that there is an order to things, that there is a right way of doing things. There is a right and there is a wrong. And this is black and white thinking. Actually, when one of the people from my group, I guess you call it, from the channel, whatever, had said to me, isn't this black and white thinking, what you're saying about your rules and other things and whatever? There's been more than one person that said that, but there's one I'm thinking in particular that has a problem with that due to borderline personality disorder. You're right, this is a form of black and white thinking, but there are black and white thinking forms that are healthy too, that will be protecting you the rest of your life, that will eventually earn you a place in eternity if you believe that way, if you believe there is an eternity. Not everybody believes there's a heaven and a hell. Not everybody believes there's something after this life, and I get that. That is their belief, and that is what runs their life. My belief is that there is an eternity, and there is a God, and there is somebody that after this life is going to be there, and I will be answering to him. And yes, I believe he is a him. That's my belief, and that's how it is. But not everybody believes that, and I respect the right to believe what you want because we live in America. We're not in a totalitarian or communistic society where people can tell you what to believe. Do I think that that makes your belief the truth? No, I don't. And that's my point of this video. I believe, in fact, I know that my beliefs are the truth. And other people that believe very much like me believe that our beliefs are the truth. Does that make us an exclusive group? Yeah, to an extent it does. I am a no compromise type of person, as much as I possibly can be. That means I try my best not to associate myself with closely people that are doing things that go against the Bible and my beliefs. So, on the same vein, somebody that has a different belief that, well, live and let live, everybody has a right to do what they do, believe what they believe, live by what they live by, is going to hang out in any chat room they want, is going to go party with their friends at night, get drunk, get stoned, whatever, because that's their belief. That's not an opinion. That is something that they have chosen to shape their lives. Does that make them a bad, evil person? Sometimes. It depends what your belief is and what you're living by. A psychopath believes that everybody else deserves to suffer at their hands and they deserve to enjoy it. Is that their belief? Yes. Do they live by it? Yes. That's my point. You may be a Satanist and you believe in Satan and that Satan will reward you with good things that you want for you doing things that blatantly go against the Bible truth, and defaming God's name, defaming God's people, and you believe that that is your job on this earth, to defame people, because that is what makes your God, Satan, happy. You're a Satanist. That's your beliefs. You live by those beliefs. Now, can beliefs change? Darn right. They definitely can. Some do change. Some do not. And the ones that do not, you will live by. That is the truth. An opinion can change, yes. An opinion is just something you come up with out of the blue. Well, right now I decide I don't like this. Then a few months later you might decide you like it. So maybe you enjoy playing tennis for a while and then, tennis is boring. I'm not going to do it anymore. Your opinion then of tennis will change. Beliefs are not quite as likely to change if they're ingrained in you. If there's something that you really, really believe and you really know is your truth, you're not going to fluctuate from that. No matter who says what, no matter who gets butt hurt, no matter who has been out of shape that you won't believe like they do, you're not going to change it because that is your belief. You will live by it. You will live by your faith. You will live by your beliefs. And not everybody's beliefs are the same. There are people that claim to be one thing and live a totally opposite way. To me, that's a hypocrite. That's not somebody with the beliefs that I have. To me, somebody that believes the way I do, we adhere to a certain, if you want to say, rote policy, a similar set of values and structures that we don't fluctuate very much from. Are we in the majority? No, we are very much in the minority, and we know it, and we don't care, because to us our beliefs are truth. And no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter what you try to tell us about, well, it shouldn't be this way, you should be more accepting of this and that, we're not going to. So you're wasting your breath. We're going to adhere to our beliefs. We're going to stand strong for what we believe. We may not shove it down your throat. We may not even try to talk to you about it. But that doesn't mean we're not standing strong about what we believe. My room rules. This is another thing that's been brought to me several times in the last probably month. They stay. They remain as is, along with an addition as of recently. People who are in a state of mind that they are going to come into the room, into the chat area, and bring dissension and talk about things that are against my beliefs and several others, many others in the room, in the group, will not be welcome in my room until you are in the state of mind where you can adhere to the rules. If that makes me a tyrant, then congratulations, you've just met your first tyrant on YouTube. Although I doubt I'm the first. Things have to have rules. Things have to have order and structure to run properly, to have the majority be at peace. I am an altruistic person when it comes to a certain extent of beliefs. My beliefs, I will protect. I will. If I need to have rules to protect the people that believe like me, then I will. And if that makes me somebody that's like a cult leader or an exclusivist or whatever, then so be it. I'm willing to take that label along with so many other labels. I don't care. My chat room, my live stream, if I'm going to have one, will be a safe and enjoyable place for the majority. Not for all, for the majority, and especially those who believe in like manner to me. There is something about associating with like-minded people and not associating with those that are not. A kingdom divided against itself shall not stand. A house divided against itself will fall. This house is going to stand because of our beliefs. And if that means we are weeding out some people that don't like others that stand strong in their beliefs, then out you go. What can I say? It's your choice. I don't force anybody to stay in my chat area or to watch my videos, and I never will. But I will not bend on my beliefs. I will not conform to what I consider are worldly ways. And yes, if I see somebody claiming my beliefs, living that way, it is going to disturb me. And most of the time, I'm probably going to speak out about it. You will hear from me, one way or the other. I will try to be kind about it, but I will have an opinion and I will voice my opinion if I choose to do so about if you're claiming to be, oh, I'm just like Dee Dee, I believe that way too, and I see you acting the fool or playing the hypocrite. You better believe the Bible says to rebuke your brother in sin so that they can get right with God and be back on the right path. Now, this message is going to offend, it's going to tick some people off, and I know that. And I'm okay with that. I always have most of my life. I am a lot more open-minded and tolerant of people than I ever was in my life before. And if you don't believe me, I guess you can watch some of my older videos, if they're even up there still. My daughter can tell you, I've changed a lot over the years to tolerate more actions and not be so outspoken against them. But there are times that there are things that blatantly offend my God and me. And you better believe that if it happens, I am going to, as you say, be on my high horse and speak about it. And no, I'm not in manic mode right now. I'm actually in the beginning of the month. So I'm thinking extremely clearly and very calmly. But it's time for me to take a stand again and let people know exactly who I am and what I stand for. That being said, of course everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody. And I'm sure I will hear from some people on their opinion. And I will handle it the same way I have been. Some comments will be deleted. Some comments will be reported, and people will be reported. And some will be left with my response, as I have been doing. And it's been going well. I always pray before I make a decision to delete, to block, to leave a comment. Am I always right? Probably not, because nobody's perfect. But I do hear from God 99% of the time when I go to Him about things. And I believe He directs me in the right way. Also, something I've seen lately, I've had a lot of enemies over the years, and most recently, there is a Bible verse that says, when your ways please the Lord, He makes even your enemies to be at peace with you. I think people have seen this happen over and over, time and time again with me, where people that I was just like really at odds with have come back, apologized, we've reconciled. They were my enemy, and now they're at peace with me. I love it when this happens. It can't always happen that way, because it's based on two people. And if one person decides, okay, I want this relationship, and the other person decides, the heck with you, I'm going my own direction, then obviously they're not going to be at peace. But for the majority of the time in my life, not just on YouTube, not just on the internet, but in life, when God is pleased with the way I'm doing things, if I'm living my life according to the Bible and I'm doing unto others the way I would want them to do unto me according to the Bible, that means holding them accountable too, as they do me, people that I trust and have rapport with. If I'm doing that, God does bring my enemies back to me and makes peace between us. And it's a beautiful thing when you see it. You've seen it. And I love it. But I know that there's something on my end that I have to do too. My ways have to please Him. Do I believe that He's a tyrant with a lightning bolt that wants to strike me dead if I get out of line? No, I don't. But do I believe that there is a line and that there is a place where God has had enough? Yes, I do. I believe He thinks very much like a loving father would. I'm going to give you just as much line to do what you want to do and see if you're going to get out of step with what you know the truth is. And if you do, I'm going to reel you back in every time. He does it. He's done it all my life. Now, people have asked me, what if you get to the end of your life, Dee Dee, and you find out there was no God? You find out all these beliefs you had were for naught. You just basically wasted a whole lot of breath standing for what you do, and you're just in the ground and it's over. What if that happens? What if it does? Then I've lived this life on this earth to set a legacy of somebody that stood for something they believed was real, and I've done the best I could with the life that I was given. I will leave here with no regrets because I'm going to keep on standing strong for what I believe, and I'm going to keep on enforcing rules and enforcing discipline and establishing balance and equilibrium in all that I do. Not just in a chat room, not just on YouTube, but in my life. I must live a life of balance, and that is what works best for me. This is my belief. This is what I stand by. If you believe or say you believe like I do and I see something contrary, I will address it. I will. I may back off, and that's my way of addressing it. I may shrink back and not say anything for a bit while I process. You may come to me and I may have an answer for you. You may come to me and I may say I just don't want to associate. It's my right to do that, and it's my responsibility to do that sometimes, because sometimes if things are approached too soon in the wrong timing, you can lash out. Let the air clear. Everybody knows if there's a big squabble, let the air settle, let the dust settle, let the air clear, and then go and talk about it. I still believe this. And God does talk about timing being important. There is a time and a place for everything under heaven, including discussing things and addressing things. The time has come for this video. The difference between beliefs and opinions. An opinion is not the same as a belief. I'm glad I had this time to explain my stand on this. Maybe it was a bit cryptic because I don't believe in mentioning people's names. It doesn't serve any purpose to call people out by name all the time. There is a time for that. This is not the time. This is a time for Dee Dee to stand by what she says and to explain why she's standing by it, why I'm standing by it. I'm not trying to talk third person, that's just weird. But why I stand by my beliefs. And if I do talk in third person, it's for emphasis, by the way. Alright, that being said, as I stated earlier, the rules remain in the room, along with some addendum, if you will. I think that's what it's called, a redactment, or I don't know. Whatever, I don't know all the fancy terminology for adding something onto the rules. But there will be an addition. This morning I will go on as soon as I can get on my computer and make the addition so that it'll be there. So your beliefs are not the same as your opinions. And it will be because of your beliefs that you join with me, or join with somebody else, or start your own group, or your own adherents, or your own friends, or whatever. And I'm okay with it. Be okay with believing what you believe. But don't think I'm going to join you unless I choose to join you in your beliefs. And the only beliefs I will be joining are ones that line up with my guidebook, the Bible, and other books that are in alignment with it. So, in avoidance of being redundant, because I hate repeating myself, and I hear myself doing that, especially at the end of the month, so I'm glad it's not that time. I am going to go now, but I want you to think about, if you will, where I stand. That way you know how to approach me if you need to approach me, or you want to approach me on something, you want to talk to me. Just know that you're probably going to hear a Bible verse if there's one needed. Or you'll hear a quote from something else that I've read. Something like that. But that is my belief, not my opinion. It is very much the truth to me as long as I am living on this earth. And it is what I will live by and run my life by. And it will be what I advise others by.